Good evening, everyone. This is Silent Night ASMR. I know it's been a couple of years or so since I've uploaded a video from the last video. Now, I need to be both apologetic and apologetic because life just happens and we cannot be in control of what life gives us, especially the challenges that we have to face and the storms that we need to get through. So I'm going to make this video short and quick because the first video, I thought the mic was actually taking in every word I was saying. And I'm going to show you the mic that I'm using. Now, there's two. The first one, I thought it was recording everything I said, but it sounded as if I was coming in and out of the mic when the mic is literally in front of my mouth. So I'm using the second mic to talk to you guys and to let you guys know that the last couple years have been hectic and challenging as I was dealing with my own health issues, whether I was either too overstressed or just didn't get enough sleep, or if I wasn't hydrated enough. The mere fact that I was caring for my father who dealt with his own demons, it got to the point where my health went from I nearly died twice in 2024 to actually being here talking to all of you guys right now. So, uh, from April of 2024 all the way up and through November or December of 2024, my health went from being as high as the stock market that you guys are earning money to as low as the Great Depression. And I didn't know how I was going to make it through, in and out, back and forth into the emergency departments, into the dental clinic that was inside the hospital. Uh, my blood pressure, the highest it's ever been in my entire life, was 170 over 100, and I was on blood pressure medication temporarily. Luckily, everything went back to normal by the beginning of 2025. But in 2024, while I was dealing with my own health issues, I thought I was doing my father a service where, my dad dealt with his demons and I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Not that I was never there for my dad by far. Um, Backstory, my mother had passed away in 2017 from cancer, and my parents were divorced at the time. And I started noticing my father started to slip right back into the old demon, as he always has slipped back into the old demon to cope with his pain. And no matter what it was that I tried to do, same with my mom, same with everyone in his family, and even my own husband, you just can't fix people. It'll drain you. So I did the best I could to make sure my dad took care of himself, to the point where I just kept saying to myself, you know what, my dad is already older. I don't need him to have that burden that he needs to still take care of me. It's the reason why I got married, because you have someone to take care of you and you take care of that person. So, long story short, um, I went in for pre-op to have oral surgery done to get rid of my second wisdom tooth. And it was impacted. So the morning of that surgery, I got a phone call from my cousin saying that my father had passed away. And I had to go into surgery with that in mind because my family wanted to already make the funeral arrangements, and she was very adamant in letting them know, which is the God honest truth. I waited 2 months, 2 whole months dealing with pain. They didn't give me any pain medication. They didn't give me any antibiotics. I literally went into the emergency department just to get that. And I literally scolded the dentist. They always gave me a different dentist. It was always a med student. I said, I'm sick and tired of this. So, long story short, went through the surgery well. It started off with like 5 people. And then before I even went under, because I wasn't even under anesthesia, and I saw about 16 people. I'm going, it's just an impacted wisdom tooth. Like, what award is it gonna get? But everything went well, and a week or so later, we had the celebration of life for my father. My father is from Huistac, Guerrero, Mexico. So anyone who's ever been to a Mexican party, wedding, christening, uh, quinceanera, a funeral, you know, is a celebration of life. And that's the way how everyone should be remembered. And my father had a really nice one, so I'm so grateful. But a couple of days after his velario, I went to pick up the flowers and, of course, all the offerings that everyone had given to my father, to my home. I had hot chocolate, and it was crazy because here in New York, it was in the summer, being that it was in July, and I had the hot chocolate with my Mexican sweet cake. Oh my God, you guys have no idea, right? And then the following day, the same cousin calls me, just hysterically crying, telling me, and this is crazy because I have seen my cousins finally for the very first time in years. I was I was away from them, but it wasn't by choice. It was just, life be life in. So, uh, 3 days before my cousin called me frantically, we had seen her brother, and I gave him a hug, and he told me in Spanish, he's like, "No saludas, prima," and I felt so bad because I was just, just recovering out of the surgery and just getting over the pain meds because the pain meds they gave me were gnarly pain meds. I'm not gonna say which, and he understood. And of course, a couple of days later, she calls me frantically telling me that the very cousin I saw and I hugged that day, or that night, I should say, suddenly passed away. So here I am, recently losing my dad, recently losing a cousin, and the only person I thought about was my uncle, which was my father's brother, because my cousin who had passed was his eldest son. So, it was very traumatic for the family, and I gave them the space that they needed to mourn and grieve. So, long story short, uh, my health has been great since the beginning of 2025. And around May of 2025, believe it or not, uh, actually, I'm going to backtrack this. Around August of 2024, my brother found a pigeon, and he couldn't take care of her well, not because he couldn't, but because of his schedule at work. So I named her Charlie, which Charles in Spanish is Carlos, which was my father's name. So I figured out it was a girl because when I started cleaning out her coop the other day, which was probably maybe 2 weeks ago, because right now we're in 2026, she laid 5 eggs. They're not fertile. I don't allow her to go outside. She was raised at home with some good Dove food, which has probiotics in it. And then in 2025, in May, my little brother, who's 21 years younger than I am, he currently lives with me and my husband. Uh, Not a bother because he's the baby of the family and he does well. He found a dog chained up to the adjacent to my building, and well, eventually I'll tell you guys the story of all the animals. But for right now, that is pretty much it. I said that this was going to be a short update, but eventually I will upload more videos as I go along, and hopefully uh, more good things will happen as I go with God and Christ. For those who are very religious, I mean, I'm not as uh, ordained as most Catholics, but I do believe in one God and one King. I don't read the Bible often, but it doesn't mean I don't believe, because if that was not true, I would not be here talking to all of you today. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.